is terrible. I have looked at the billionaires, the supposed billionaires that we have in Nigeria, and some churches, they are GOs donating money to the federal government, and also banks donating to the federal government, and I've faulted this. I don't think there's anyone out there that is in support of his own pastor donating to the federal government. The same federal government that they know have been bastardizing our resources. They have been stealing and looting our resources. The same federal government, not just Buhari, previous administration, and even now, they know that the antecedents of this government is to steal. They are never transparent. I don't know if many of them embrace this administration or they are all trying to just do politics or whatever it is. People expected churches to give money directly to their members. After all, those members are the ones that brought the money to the church. And because of them, that is why there is money in church. In mosque too. And in banks, people do business with banks. You go there, you put in your money, they trade with your money. People expect that the banks put money in their account, at least as a way to help cushion the effect of coronavirus. That is the grassroots. That is how you give things to people. It gets to their hand to hand. That is what people expect. And now I'm talking about the money being in your own bank account, not the bank coming to your home to give you the money. And the billionaires may be, as a result of politics, and because they care less about you anyway, the billionaires in Nigeria, many of them, maybe they don't want anything to do with you. They just want to show the federal government that they are in with the federal government on this. Many of them have given money to the federal government. Now, there is something that is going to shock you. Lai Mohammed, it is said and alleged and attributed to Lai Mohammed that he said that we cannot share private donations to Nigerians. The Minister of Information and Culture, properly known as Lai Mohammed and also known as Liar Mohammed, he said on Tuesday that funds donated by the private sector, private individuals, bank, churches towards fighting coronavirus were meant only for the development of the healthcare infrastructure that they have left in total decay for over so many years. We are talking about more than 50 years. Okay, let's just put it in the frame of 50 years or 45 years. Let us say Nigeria got independence 1960, thereabout. Let's give them 5 years that they needed time to upgrade themselves. 50 years of Nigeria. Out of it, let us give them 40 years. The medical sector in Nigeria has been left in total decay. Is that you don't find some equipment here? And because of that, many medical doctors in Nigeria had gone abroad to work in conditions that are not that good, but somehow the cash is okay, because if you are in your country, you definitely be a first-class citizen and you'll be able to put back into the society that actually you got the knowledge from. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So somehow they crushed everything around the medical structure, the healthcare infrastructure, and everything in Nigeria, and they would rather fly abroad. Now, he's saying that donations from private citizens, donations from banks, donations from private sector churches are not going to be used to fight coronavirus, but they are meant to develop the healthcare infrastructure so that there won't be any form of accountability. That's the reason why they are coming up with this bogus talk. What about the money that the budget allocated for that? Didn't they allocate money for the healthcare infrastructure? What about the hospitals the clinic in F0R that Buhari himself cannot attend, but he would rather go to a clinic, hospital in the United Kingdom because he is not comfortable with the doctors in Nigeria. He's not even comfortable in the hands of any of this group of people because he needs to hide his health issue, his health condition and status, and also he doesn't even trust the system at all. So he needed to take himself out there where he can perform a clandestine, medical checkup on himself. It's a terrible thing. It's so terrible. So he said the money is to build healthcare, develop healthcare infrastructure, and this could not be used to provide palliatives during the lockdown. So the money your pastor gave, the money your daddy GO gave, the money that your Islamic cleric gave, your Imam gave, the money that your billionaire uncle or friend gave, or your boss, the money that your bank that you have over time kept money with them, done business with. They are saying that this money is not going to be used for you, but they are going to use it to build and develop the healthcare sector. Now, let us even look at all of this and say, okay, if they're eventually going to use this money to build the healthcare structure, infrastructure, and once and for all, we have a functioning one, not the one that you say, people complain and said, all right, we do not have this. I know the population is much, but we have enough resources to take care of health in Nigeria. Nigeria is supposed to even be a place where people will visit, like, medical tourism and stuff like that. But they decided to kill every of this so that they can steal money. If they go in Nigeria, if they go to visit if they go to hospitals in Nigeria, or definitely for free, they will not be able to allocate certain big bogus amount of money for themselves for health. That is why they want to go abroad for medical treatment, because with that, they can cut off a huge chunk of money out of the budget for themselves. They will say, this is for my health care. But if it is done in Nigeria, they know that it's going to be a free medical service, and they will not have any money to cut for themselves, but will rather impute that money, allocate that money to make sure that the hospitals function. So that is why they come up with all these strategies, and they will rather go abroad there. Lai Mohammed stated this when he featured on a radio program titled Politics Nationwide in Abuja. It shocked a lot of people. Of course, people are not too shocked, but at least it shook them to their core that the money that the GO dropped, rather than dropping it into their own private account, is gone into the wind. He was responding to questions on why the government has not considered it necessary to share part of the billions of naira being donated by public-spirited individuals and private institutions to the people to cushion the effect of the extended lockdown. You are talking of hospitals. Are they building the hospitals right now? No, they took the money into their pocket. It's a shame. I feel pained to imagine that banks, private citizens, I don't want to even talk about them because they got money from the monopoly, so they're only giving back to the people that gave them money and open the door of nepotism, monopoly, and corruption. What about the pastors and the imams, the clerics? Why? That's why when I keep talking about this, people do not understand why I keep talking about this, because I've seen a pattern over time that the religious clerics and politicians work hand in hand. They work hand in hand. Once they realize that one administration is not giving them what they want, you begin to see them criticize that administration, different visions and prophecies. You begin to see them talk. But if the administration is giving them what they want, give them cows, come to visit them in church and kneel down and they pour anointing oil, and the politician drops billions, thousands of dollars, their prophecy change. It changes. But the question you should ask yourself is this: is there any change in the life of you out there selling that tomatoes? You out there working in that shop and sewing clothes. Does it change your life? No, it doesn't change your life. Anything that doesn't change the life of anyone at the micro level, at the grassroots, it is useless. That is what they call governance must reach to the grassroots. You must be able to feel the impact, the positive impact of government in your life, of the administration, of your resources and everything. And if it is not there, you are nowhere. So I've seen the pattern over time, and a lot of people would rather be a slave to themselves, and I don't know when they will wake up. Now, this is not an attack against your pastor or against your imam or anything, but I'm saying that even at this time, how is it so that a pastor cannot give to members? After all, they have cells, they have prayer meetings, they have fellowship, house fellowship. They know you. Why can't they give it to their members? Take money. After all, you have been bringing tithe and offering every day. You have been sowing seed of faith, seed of evolution, seed of miracle, seed of water, anointed oil, anointed slippers, anointed. It's time to give back to the people. Give them cash. Some churches are giving back packs of Indomie to people. At least it's something that they can do too. They are giving packs of Indomie. But rather than giving the Indomie directly to the members of their church, they gave the packs of Indomie to the government. It's so funny. Look, charity begins at home. Give to your members first. Then you give out to other people. That is how you do. Charity begins at home. When Jesus Christ was going to give fish, he didn't start giving fish to other people. He gave to the people that are gathered with him, and the fish can now extend out there. That is how it's supposed to be done. So I saw several packs of Indomie and then being given out to the local government, which they said from the local government they'll be able to share this. It's a good approach too. But what I'm saying in essence is this: It is not bad giving to the government. And when I say the government, not the federal government, I'm talking about you sharing to the local government, and make sure that you have someone, a supervisor, that will ensure that what you've given to the local government, there is accountability and transparency. Just don't give it as a gift. You say, listen, I'm going to give you this 50 million naira, but this 50 million naira is going to be shared in conjunction with one of our supervisors that is going to monitor that this money gets to the people that needs it. If you don't want to give it directly, that is for the part of the government. And for your own members too, you should be able to do something. Imam, do something. Pastors, do more. People are out there shouting and screaming. Why? They are not just interested to hear that, don't worry, you are blessed. Bless them here. It's important. Look at what the federal government is doing. We are talking of that already. We are complaining that the federal government is not doing the right thing over time, yet you are giving them more money. Tell me, the money you've given to them, has it impacted into the lives of the people? No. Listen to what they are saying, that the money is meant, as if they never had a budget before for that the money is meant to build healthcare infrastructure. They want to build hospitals with the money that is being donated, like there wasn't money in Nigeria before. It's terrible. So the billions of naira that has been donated by public-spirited individuals and private institutions to the people to cushion the effect of the extended lockdown is nowhere to be found. The minister said the Presidential Task Force for the Control of Coronavirus was neither with the money nor in control of it and could not share a penny from the fund to anyone. He said the private sector donors are not giving any cash to the federal government, and they have made this clear to the people. What is this? The private sector donors are not giving any cash to the federal government. Who are they giving it to? They are giving it to the people. So where is the money? They said they will support the fight against the pandemic by asking government where they want healthcare infrastructure to be provided. If you want healthcare infrastructure to be provided, all you need to do is to ask the government, listen, we want to build hospitals. And you sit down with them on how it will be built. Rather, you give the federal government money to build healthcare infrastructure. How? Where? What government has done is to request them to build 30-bed isolation ward and a 10-bed intensive care unit in each state in the country with billions of naira. In addition, the federal government has given them a list of equipment and commodities that will also be needed. Therefore, the issue of using their donations to provide palliative cannot arise. Mohammed further said that in addressing the issue of palliative, every country adopted a peculiar strategy that was workable and acceptable. He said that Nigeria remains in the best in Africa in the area of provision of palliative to citizens as the world battles the scourge. The minister said that the federal government has taken a lot of measures to cushion the effects of COVID-19 on Nigerians, including food distribution, cash transfers, and loan repayment waivers. So I want you guys to talk about this. I want you guys to discuss on this. What is your take about everything that this administration is doing and what Lai Mohammed, a representative of Buhari, is saying to the world, and saying as regards the money that your pastor, your imam, your boss, the richest men in Nigeria, Africa, and your bank, all the money they've dropped, that is where the claim is going to. Drop it at the comment section. Thanks for stopping by.